the sixth in a series of videos aimed at assisting APS members with how to apply for FEAP distinctions. The information in this video is intended to help explain certain key aspects of completing a distinctions application and does not replace the need to read the application documents. In this tutorial, I will give an overview of what is required on page C of the FEAP distinctions application form. Page C is the page where you list all your salon results that you choose to count to meet the criteria of the distinction you are seeking. Only results from international salons that had FEAP patronage may be counted for a FEAP distinctions application. Every distinctions application you lodge must be a standalone application. In other words, all the results needed to meet the criteria for the level you seek must be included on this form. Even if you are seeking a second or subsequent level which is cumulative with the previous level and wish to include some or all of the results used on the previous level's application, those same results must be shown again on the next application if you wish to count them. When filling out this form, it is important to understand that FEAP use a computer program to determine if the criteria for the distinction has been met by the results listed on your form. So it is very important that your results are listed without errors or typos and that the results match those on the FEAP database. This was discussed earlier in the tutorial about titling your images. The database itself is not openly available, but is built from the result spreadsheets sent by the salons to FEAP. So you want to ensure your details are correct in salon records. This is done by taking care with your details at the time of entering the salon. Checks should also have been done when the salon released its results and again when the catalogue is sent. I will now run through what you are required to fill in for each column on page C of the application form. I'm using the example filled in form for a fictional EFIAP applicant that can be downloaded from the APS website to demonstrate this. Firstly, as per page B, do not fill in your details in these fields at the top of the page. These fields autofill from page A and should only be filled in or amended on page A. You will corrupt the coding if you attempt to alter those details on page C. As mentioned, it is very important to be careful when completing this form to avoid errors. Remember that even such things as an extra space in your title or at the start of a FEAP number moves the characters, and a computer program will not read the data as intended. A few essential things. Do not alter this form. So don't add or modify columns or change a row so as to add a carriage return. Each acceptance must be on a separate row and detailed in full. So no dittos or bunched results under a salon heading, and do not use more than one row per acceptance. Don't leave blank rows between acceptances, and it's best not to type in capital letters as this takes a lot more space. Looking at the content that goes into each column. So the column, just so you know, the columns that I'm referring to are lettered across the top. So column A is a simple count of acceptances. It's already pre-filled with the numbering. So if you are deleting rows, be very careful not to delete the entire row including that particular column. Always select the cells and then move everything up. It is also useful for sorting the results on this form into a different order. So when counting various criteria, you might choose to resort the whole form into a different order, and you can return to your original order using the sequential numbering of column A. Column B is a count of the number of different titles. This column should be filled in last when the results being counted are finalised on your form. Give the same number to the same title, such that this is filled in for every acceptance. When doing this, it is ideal to sort the table according to image title so that the numbering goes consecutively with the titles in an alphabetical order. So here I have swapped to a copy of the form where I have done that resort and placed the form in the order according to title in alphabetical order. And I have then numbered sequentially going down through the title numbers. As you can see, I've given the same number to the image that has the same title. So it is, in effect, a count of the number of titles you have, but every time that title appears, you make sure it's numbered in that column. This number does not stay with the same image title between subsequent distinctions applications. It's not an identity number for that title. It's just simply a count of the titles for that specific distinctions application. So on the next application, if you use this same title, it will quite likely have a different number associated with it. Column C is for the title of the image. It is critical that you're 100% accurate with your image titles, i.e. no errors, extra spaces or abbreviations or even character changes such as a hashtag or full stop, often used when showing a title involving a number. The titles written here must match the title in the Salon records, character for character. As per the tutorial about titling your images, the title for an image must remain identical throughout its exhibition history, and thus must also appear identical on your application. I'll come back to the form with the data sorted in Salon order. This is the order in which you will actually lodge your final form to the verifying officer for verification. Column D is for the Salon name. As per the tutorial about Salon circuits, you need to include both the circuit name and the Salon name. Some abbreviation here is acceptable, but do not radically abbreviate. The key identifying name of the Salon must be there. Reducing the name to initials that aren't the formal way the Salon is listed by FIAP, or words that don't clearly differentiate between salons is not acceptable. So, for example, the Maitland Salon. The salon's full name is Maitland International Salon of Photography, but Maitland Salon will suffice. And likewise, if you enter the Queensland International Digital Circuit, reducing that to QIDC is not acceptable, but Queensland Circuit followed by the relevant salon is fine and is as should be shown. Column E is the country in which the salon was held. This must be the country name as it is known in the English language. Again, do not abbreviate the country name. One of the most common ones that I see abbreviated is Bosnia-Herzegovina. Make sure that the country name is there, not the state or town. I have often encountered that being there instead of the actual country. All country groups, such as those in the UK, must be listed as individual countries, so Scotland, England, Wales, not United Kingdom or Great Britain. Most importantly, FIAP require that the salon must be listed in the country where the judging took place. Circuits that judged all salons in one location, then exhibited each salon in a different country, can only be listed and counted as the country where the judging was done. Some individual salons have also been managed and judged in a country other than the one where the exhibition took place. If unsure, refer to the FIAP Salon patronage list, as the country is listed for every salon there. The FIAP patronage number in column F is only for the relevant number. People often incorrectly type the word FEAP ahead of the number. That then has to be removed. The number will consist of the 4-digit year, followed by a / and a 3-digit number. Sometimes salons will drop the leading 0 for the number following the /. That's fine for the catalogue, but when it comes to this list, those leading zeros must be there because, as I've pointed out, this form is looked at by a computer program and it will count that number differently if those leading zeros aren't there. So you need to make sure for all those double-digit or single-digit salons, such as Southampton here, which has 2009/001, that can't be shown as 2009/1, much as it might appear like that in a catalogue. Must always be the double zero or single zeros if it's a double-digit number. There's a double-digit one there. It's very important that this number is correct and that it is specific to each salon, including those within a circuit. So don't group a set of numbers for a circuit, for instance. Each salon within a circuit will have its own individual number, and if you're not certain which number applies to each salon, again, the FEAP patronage list is the list to go back to where it will itemise each salon with its applicable number. Remember, FEAP's computer program will be identifying the salon almost certainly using that FEAP number. Column G is only for awards, that being medals, honourable mentions, merits, etc. Please do not type the word acceptance in this column. This column should be blank unless the image has received an individual award. Overall exhibitor awards, such as top exhibitor, best set of images in a section, etc., have no place on a FEAP distinctions application. So those things do not go in this column at all. The digital print columns, under columns H and I, are simply marked with an X according to which medium you entered that particular image in the salon. If by chance you have old slide acceptances that are being included, then mark this in the digital column. You only count the acceptance as a print acceptance with an X in column I if the image was entered and judged as a print. If the image was entered as a digital file, then the salon printed the image to exhibit it. This is counted as a digital entry, not a print entry. How you tackle what acceptances to include on page C largely depends on whether you have lots of results from which to select or you're close to the minimum. The following tutorials will cover the task of selecting and culling on your application form in an efficient manner.